All right, guys. So what we got here going on is that I came across a video in which, well, let's just check it out. It's by Deco Voice. This ought to be interesting.
This trucker's CDL situation is getting so scary, even ultra-left Reddit is starting to sound like the MAGA movement. As over in Florida, this trucker takes an illegal left turn on the highway, blocking all the lanes, causing a fatal collision. With the New York Post revealing the crash that killed 3 was caused by an illegal individual, and on the DHS's official reporting on the incident, they stated they attempted to use an official use only access point. And although he had no legal right to be in the country, California still issued him a commercial driver's license operating a 40-ton 18.
Of course, because fucking California is like a fucking cesspool for criminals. They'll give, their fucking laws are so freaking loose that criminals these days can get away with just about anything.
Wheel truck, as he should have been sent home, but remained because he was afraid to return to India. And the more we know about this tragedy, the worse it becomes. The simple fact that this was completely avoidable is compounded by the idea that this is a much larger issue than anybody knew about, as terrible policies in liberal states like California are even putting people in danger in conservative states like Florida.
Bro, I would never fucking go to fucking California or New York or any of these fucking blue ass fucking states. Fuck that. If I do go over there, it's just gonna be for visiting, but I ain't gonna freaking overstay my welcome in these fucking cesspools.
It's interesting how only local outlets and right-leaning media seems to highlight this horrible story, but even places like super left Reddit is having discussions about this, attempting to be objective, with the top comment from r/truckers being about someone experiencing the same exact thing in Texas, spiraling into a conversation about how that specific country has different driving norms, and how they have 1% of the world's vehicles, but 10% of its deaths, which seems like a mature, objective conversation that isn't common on Reddit, except when you consider how much of their interactions are actually bots, which that post looks 100%
Dude, it's getting crazy to the point where I can't even tell whether well, I think I can still tell actually to some degree, but it's getting kind of sophisticated and a little scary out there with the whole bot situations. Like in general, if you ever dealt with him on social media, you'd probably get like, you know, those random messages in your DM saying like, hey, you want to be part of this or something and help you help your bottom dollar or some shit like that. Yeah, no, I ain't touching that shit.
Generated by AI, with every single ChatGPT detector saying so, and that's the only way Reddit will accidentally tell the truth. And again, this proves absolutely nothing about foreign truckers as a whole, but why is it so difficult to have this discussion in the first place?
And another good way to spot the bots actually is that if you get multiple messages and they all pretty much sound the damn same, that's a good way, because there's this one time on Instagram, I got a message from some random chick, and then asking me that if she wanted to sell her content, and then I got another message from another woman saying if she wanted to sell her content, but like it was pretty much, you know, worded exactly the same. There was no, you know, how do you say? There was like no a change of grammar or, you know, way of how they talk or speak or text in that matter, which is a little telling, I guess.
With the second most upvoted comment to being about how this same thing happened in Indiana, giving them certain feelings about foreign truckers, with the top reply to that being from someone sharing that same race.
As I was telling my brother about this specific incident yesterday, a truck did the same thing on the I-80 near South Bend, Indiana, about 300 yards from us. Luckily, traffic was light and paying attention. The driver was foreign, wearing a turban. It appears he did it so he could turn back and go to a travel center that was a few miles up the road. I drove for a living to see stupid stuff like this regularly. IMHO, I've gone worse, and the stereotype of blank 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 blank, blank becoming more true every day. I do not have a thing against foreign truckers 5 years ago, but today I think it's a serious problem that puts people at risk every day. I think okay, because I live in Texas and in South Texas, over here where we call what we call the Valley, which encompasses three major cities here, which are Brownsville, McAllen, and Harlingen. And I think it's true. I think it's true to a certain degree, but even the people that live here, the actual U.S. citizens and whatnot, are starting to become retarded as well when it comes to driving around. Because not that long ago, I was taking my mother to another city near McAllen called San Juan for for church, because we're going to the San Juan Basilica. It's like our version of a cathedral down here. And on our way, it's like a 30-mile drive depending how fast you're going. Okay, I live in Texas, so the speed limit here is like 75 or higher ish. And driving from my house to over there, I can tell that I spotted like maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 drivers at least in from driving from point A to point B, not even using their turn signals. They were just cutting through, not even giving traffic the right away or whatever. It's like complete fucking retardation down here, dude. Like, holy shit.
Having the same feelings because they make them.
Let me read this other part. I'm Indian and I'm even sick of this shite. I have to listen to blah blah racist blah blah all day because of these blah 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 morons making the rest of us look bad. 5 years ago, I'd fight back, but now I'm taking it in. But I'll tell you what I tell everyone: the CDL test site should also be held. Yeah, he's probably right. He's definitely right, because the fucking idiots who are issuing the driver's license and doing the tests are either not doing their damn job or making it way too goddamn easy for fucking letting retards pass the test. Yeah. They're raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars by letting people pass the test. The system is corrupted as hell. I wish they'd find the place where he got his CDL license and his commercial driver's license, and question the tester that made pass to help pass this guy with flying colors. It could be with the also with the whole DEI fucking program that some of these goddamn holdouts are. The holdouts are still trying to still be letting that still be part of the system, and we're seeing the result of this, of what is happening with all this giving passes basically. And if people aren't passing tests, exams, or whatever with flying colors of their own merit, and with an actual fair grading system, then people are either cheating, they're cheating the system, and the testers are also helping them cheat as well. So it's completely lost now at this point.
All look bad. And as somebody from an ethnicity also known for being notoriously bad drivers, I understand where.
Okay. Hey, it's it's that old damn saying that there's stereotypes for a reason, not without some sense of truth.
Where he's coming from. Most of us don't see this story and think, ban all foreign-born CDL holders. We just want to know how someone that doesn't understand the basics of our traffic laws was legally allowed to get a commercial driver's license and be given an 18-wheeler. So
yeah, every country is different, and their driving laws and the ways techniques of driving are different as well. I don't think it probably necessarily means that it's better or greater. It's just different due to its geographical location, the population density of traffic, and other factors as well.
in the future, we can prevent this same thing from occurring again. No one is suggesting racism as a solution, but they'll always use the potential of that to deflect from real criticisms of a broken system.
Yeah, and this is where people say that, like, it's that double-edged sword in which where people say that we need to put a system in place, and then it becomes racist, and then it's sometimes not even the case, but I guess it looks that way.
As the next top comment on Reddit was them researching,
I'm a Class A driver. Name is blank blank blank. Sounds Asian. Okay. No hiding. Anybody get the DOT/MC number? Put it up. They deserve to be known. Okay.
this specific driver, as he shares the same name as a guy that 4 years ago used his truck to collapse a bridge in Arkansas, who also was connected to a California-based trucking company. But the X replies found that it's a common name, and oddly, very common in the trucking industry. Now, no one is—
Whoa, what? Common? Why is it common?
Accusing—
Is it like a scapegoat kind of name?
Every single one of those guys as being bad drivers. It's just unfortunate that this inconvenient information causes left-leaning media outlets to completely ignore the story, as it's difficult to be objective when you're simply not allowed to come to certain conclusions. Shockingly—
Right, because you're going to be called a racist and a Nazi and blah, 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 blah.
There are huge amounts of American truck drivers that do not speak English.
Both of these trucks right here, neither of those drivers speak a lick of English. I go to the warehouse here and ask, where do you check in at? They don't understand either. It's a real life.
Bro, like, everything is freaking screwed up at this point. Like, this is why immigration is doing what they're doing and why Trump is doing what he's doing, okay? If you look at, let's see, England and all its other, how do you say, neighboring or branched off nations like England, or it's other neighboring nations, not branched off, but like it's other branched off nations like England, Scotland, Greenland. You notice they all have land in the end, right? It's because they all are English speaking countries and nations. Granted, they have different accents, but you can freaking understand them to a very good degree. I'm not gonna lie. Even if you were to sit in front of like a very intellectual British person or New Zealand, Australian, and they speak with like with a very colorful vocabulary, you can understand what the hell they're saying regardless.
I deal with this almost every single day.
I gotta wait for the cops to get here.
It's honestly not that hard.
Yeah. I have to wait for the cops to get here because you hit those mailboxes.
Oh shit.
So Trump decided to address this,
directing the Department of Transportation to include English literacy tests for our truckers.
And there you go. There you have it. And as soon as that is in place, they're going to call him a racist and yada, yada, yada.
This is a big problem in the trucking community that, unless you're in that community, you might not know.
Now in Alabama, they just started to issue tickets to truckers that can't speak English. But how will that citation stop them from driving dangerously, or at the very least, can they even comprehend what they're being ticketed for? And how did it get so bad that people that don't even know how to read street signs are allowed to get behind the wheel of these humongous vehicles?
And yeah, that was the thing I was also gonna touch up upon, but it almost slipped my mind. But yeah, if you're someone from that's going into live into a foreign nation and is going to be part of the working force and doing a job that's like, for commercial driving or anything of that matter that requires you to drive, get a point A to point B, travel, whatever, you better freaking know English to at least a good degree. Because if you can't even read the damn signs, what the hell is going to happen when you break a law and then you get pulled over and then you put up a fit, and then before you know it, you think that your own own national laws are going to apply in that nation. You're gonna be in a different world of hurt as well.
It's places like hyperleft California that consistently hold progressive values over the safety of their citizens, with the Department of Homeland Security actually putting California Governor
Innocent people
Newsom
killed.
solely to blame. And since that post, what has Newsom done? Complained about Donald Trump, then complained about Donald Trump again, and then replying to a post comparing him to the future likely Republican candidate for president, which just highlights how J.D. Vance is more of an American everyman compared to the entitled, emotional drama queen that is Newsom. California is issuing death machines to people that can't even read street signs, and their governor seems more focused on reminiscing on his rich boy roots and designer scarves than actually addressing it. As we just uncovered how absolutely every American that drives on our highways is in danger due to California's negligence, and the main person that should fix this is too preoccupied in his delusional campaign for president. And what makes this worse is you likely only know about this situation from social media or a low-budget news meme commentary account called Decoy Voice, as I don't like covering these tragic events to try to plug something stupid like a YouTube channel, but when they're surrounded by a larger social issue that needs to be addressed, it's actually important to talk about them when you know the media likely won't.
Well, freaking, that's some insight into something a bit crazy.
It's time for Media Meltdown.
Freaking shout out to Deco Voice, man. Freaking Deco Voice is freaking dope. I freaking love his channel. Definitely go check the video out and go subscribe to his channel, guys. Because I've been a subscriber for about I think about a year and a half already. And holy crap, yeah, it's freaking, yeah, he does good stuff. All right, I'll leave the original video down in the description on when I upload this to the YouTube channel. So yeah, definitely go check him out, guys. He does good stuff. It's so freaking crazy about this type of stuff, What is the official language? US doesn't have an official language, but it needs to have an official language. English would be official language. Needs to be its official language. There are signs in English. What sign? Be unable to read. Well, there's different types of signs. Just because the ones you see here in the US aren't necessarily going to be the same ones you see in Europe or in Asia or wherever, because they're not all the damn same. All right. Like, it's not even rocket science. If anything, this is pretty much an eye opener of that if you go into a different nation and you plan to live there, either I guess you should have a translator with you 24/7, or know a certain amount of degree of that language that you plan to live, that you are going to live in that nation. And let's see, what would be another thing? Yeah, but why would making them speak in English it better? Because people who are going to be driving, I mean, I understand, like, they're just pictures and don't have words and whatnot, but for knowing the street names and whatever, how do I put this? I can't even articulate it right now. How can they drive trucks in the US? Well, if they can't read what red and green means, that's probably a start. But if they don't even know what red and green means for the stoplights, then that's even a bigger issue. Either you're colorblind or you just don't know. Excuse me. Like if you were to live in Japan or in Europe, you obviously know that they drive well, at least in Europe. Okay, let's start with at least just let's just stick with Europe. Yeah, they drive on the left side, not on the right side. Like it's a bit backwards compared here in the US. And their signs aren't, they have a whole different, playbook in when it comes to driving compared to US. Yeah, on the right side. Okay, see, there you go. On the right side. See, like even I don't even know. Yeah, so I've been told, and UK is definitely weird in when it comes to driving. I think if I were to like jump into a car like right off the back and like not even like read their handbook and how to drive and go to a school, I think I'd be screwed. I'd be pretty much the like the stereotypical Asian that steps into a car and then crashes into a building, 50 cars, an airplane for some reason, and yeah, it wouldn't go well for me. I think. So like you have to basically adapt into the new area that you want to live in, and that doesn't necessarily, I guess, mean that you have to go right off the back or whatever. You can definitely learn on the go, but like if you're gonna take up upon a job in this said country that requires you to be social with people because you're going to be dealing with people, you definitely need to know, I guess, the language. Otherwise, you can't necessarily communicate with the people around you, and then you're gonna have a bunch of bumps in the road, I guess. Yeah, I agree. I don't know how that how that is happening. It is suspicious in how they're just handing these licenses like tickets, so to speak. Um, well, I think the traffic light thing. I think that was just like my trying to articulate an analogy, and I guess I didn't get it get to that point so well. So that's probably just me. Okay, that's just a me thing, not trying to articulate it that great. But I think I did a better articulation with the one I just gave previous, with the whole driving on the right side of things in Britain, in England. I mean, Europe, drive on the right side. But in any case, with the I think yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, it's definitely crazy to me that that individuals, immigrants who are coming in don't know, they don't know how to read the signs, whether you have to take a test in the yeah, you have to take, I think you have to take a test regardless wherever you go in order to get a license. I think that's just a global type of thing. And how are they passing the test? That's a thing. I don't know if you just barely jumped in, but in the beginning of the video, they were talking about how that they need to go and visit the test taking places, the offices, and see who issued or let the test taker pass, and see whether if this person on merit let this individual immigrant pass the test, if you know what I mean, or what kind of grading system did they use? Was it fair, or were they just like being lazy and just like going just checking everything off that's like, oh yeah, he did good or whatever, and just want to be lazy and just like make him pass the test that way? Like there has to be some investigating in this whole thing about like what is going on with these offices that are just like handing out the licenses like it's nothing. So yeah, that is definitely a good question. How are they passing the tests? That is definitely a good question. Because like if you take an exam for just about anything, it doesn't have to be driving, but even like in schools and people are cheating, and if the teachers are letting the students cheat, is that honestly fair to have these individuals, walk among us in society pretty much with a cheat sheet? Like, is that going to be good for merit for anybody that's going to go into a job and think that they're going to have a cheat sheet and they can't, think and think on their feet? That's even, like a bigger, a bigger overall question. My parents work as truckers in Western Europe, and the one time they were taking the test in Poland, the guy administrating the test tapped on his desk. Some guy gave him a couple of hundred. He was like, oh, okay. Yeah. See, it could be, yeah, there could be bribes. I don't know. But I think overall, like I said, there needs to be an investigation going around with these we call them DMVs here in the US, DMVs, Department of Motor Vehicles. You go to these places to register for a license and to take the test, and then you take the test, and then after you pass it you get your license after a certain period of time. It doesn't take that long, but these are the places, that's what they're called when you go get your tests, I mean your licenses. In any case, yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm gonna leave the link for Decoy Voices video and for his channel, because he does I absolutely love his channel. He does good stuff on there. So definitely go check it out, guys. If well, it's gonna be on my YouTube. On the YouTube, because I think I'll post it over here in the chat. There it is. Gotta sign in. Da, 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 da. Let's see here. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Let me see. In any other case, yeah, like this whole situation is definitely crazy, because if it gets worse, then like how do you like if it's only gonna get worse, then like holy crap, then you know people are definitely gonna be in trouble when it comes to this. And like I said, I'll leave the link in the chat. Go check out the video for yourselves, and leave the link in the description for those who are for my YouTube. Yeah, all right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys on the flip side, and I'll probably, let me see. I'm trying to look for something else to react, so we'll see. All right, there, guys. See you in a